Fantasy Football fam, what's going on? This is Fantasy Football AF, and I'm your host, Mitchell Renz. I want to give a shout out to Devore for sponsoring today's show, and in order for that to happen, I need to crack open my beer. Oh man, this is actually a pretty big one. This is an Imperial IPA. It's called the Therapist, and well, I guess this is going to be a little fantasy football therapy to you guys. And if you guys love craft beer, I need you to go to Devore.com. And if you want to get $10 off on your very first purchase at Devore, you're going to use that promo code CHATSPORTS because, well, I'm telling you to, and I'm drunk in love with Devore, and you guys will be too. So again, Devore.com, use promo code CHATSPORTS to get $10 off. All right, Lena, let's get right into the show as I take a sip of my beer. Waiver Wire Week 2. It's Tyrod Taylor. And this is the guy that I really want people to target on the waiver wire if you see him at the quarterback position. So if you're dealing with guys like Marcus Mariota's hurt, or maybe even a guy like Aaron Rodgers is hurt, look for a guy like Tyrod Taylor who's got a pretty good matchup against the Saints. So the Saints right now are ranked dead last against quarterbacks. Sure, they just gave up a shit ton of points to Ryan Fitzpatrick, and Fitzpatrick might still be running for touchdowns and throwing for him. I don't know. Fade the Saints. He's a quarterback one on a per-game basis since 2017, and he played really well against the Steelers in a really shitty game, I guess, from terms of weather. I mean, 8 carries, 77 yards, and a touchdown. That's what I'm looking for on the waiver wire for my quarterbacks. Awesome. Okay, the next thing I got going on, I see it. I get it. And it's a Tyrod. I get it. Everyone chill. Everyone chill. All right, quarterback waiver wire week 2. If you don't get a guy like Tyrod Taylor on the waiver wire, these are some other options you can look for. Joe Flacco, can't even believe I'm saying it. Mitchell Trubisky is another guy that you can count on, and maybe even Ryan Fitzpatrick, because as long as Fitzpatrick isn't the actual starter, because I still think Jameis is once he comes back, Fitzpatrick is apparently good. So those are other guys if you miss on Tyrod Taylor. All right, now waiver wire for my running back position. I like TJ Yeldon there. He's got an ownership of 11%, and I should have mentioned this before. Guys, I'm giving you guys players who are under 50% owned. Like, sure, if a guy like, I don't even know, Leonard Fournette's on the waiver wire and he's 99% owned, like, I'm not going to put him on the show. I'm putting guys on here who are under 50% owned, so it helps out multiple owners. So, ownership, TJ Yeldon, 11%. He was pretty good this past week. Once Fournette went out, 14 carries, 51 yards, 3 catches there for 18 yards and a touchdown. Personally, I think Fournette's going to miss this week. So, with that being said, he's going up against the New England Patriots. I think the Jaguars are going to be behind in this game. So, TJ Yeldon, a reliable option. But if you miss on Yeldon, here are 3 other running backs I think you should at least consider on your waiver wire. You got Heme Hines, who looked really bad all preseason. Fumbled issues, like I believe 2 of them. And then, like, when you're looking at just Hines in general, like, I think he's a guy who can catch the ball a ton. And you're looking at Auston Ekeler and then Philip Lindsay. All right, guys, shout out to Mizzen+Main for providing my clothes on this show. If you guys want to look, I guess, as good as me, can I say that? I don't know. I think I'm at least an 8, maybe 6. Who knows? Caitlin, let me know. So, what's wrong with you? I want you to go to comfortable.af because these shirts are indeed comfortable.af. And guys, I promise you, they are the best damn dress shirts you will ever buy. Super clean, super smooth, and smooth. Almost as smooth as me. I don't know. That's bad. All right, waiver wire week 2. Let's get into that. Geronimo Allison. This is a guy who I think you need to look into because, well, Geronimo, right? So 8 targets, 5 catches for 69 yards. That's nice for 1 touchdown. And this is what I love. He caught 3 first downs, and Aaron Rodgers really leaned on him at critical points. So Minnesota does rank 14th against wide receivers, and I might not recommend Geronimo for this week, but going down like the stretch, like Cobb's dealt with injuries his entire career. So Geronimo Allison, maybe a guy you should consider. And if you miss on a guy like Geronimo, guess what? Waiver wire week 2, here's some other guys you consider. Chris Godwin, with Deshaun Jackson probably missing this game due to a concussion. Godwin is the number 2 guy. And then John Brown, who's proven to be pretty good. And John Ross, let's not forget about him. That guy's pretty fast. So John Ross, those are my 3 waiver wire options for week 2. Guys, I want to know real quick from you, master debaters. What do you call your evening meal? Because I had a debate with my mother. She calls it breakfast, dinner, supper. Yeah, exactly. She's from central Pennsylvania. Can you tell? So, what do you call your evening meal? Heart for dinner, thumbs up for supper. My evening meal, it's dinner. I mean, I don't call it supper. That's weird. But can you really trust my mother? Because I sent a text to my mom, right? And it literally says, hey, Mom, look, I met Tom Brady. And for those of you who don't know who that is, that's Charles Haley, and that's obviously not Tom Brady. Her reply, tell him I said hi. Yep, Mom, I love you, but WTF. Obviously not Tom Brady. Okay, my last waiver wire week 2 guy I got for you guys It's Jared Cook. I talked about him, why I loved him on FanDuel, so I'm not going to sit here and reiterate why I love this guy so much. Great week against the Rams, and if he's sitting there on your waiver wire, there's a reason why I think his ownership percentage should be even higher than 40%. He's going to have another good week against the Broncos, so please, please, please scoop him up while you still can. And if you missed on Jared Cook, here's some other 3 guys that you could rely on. Benjamin Watson, who was actually a top 7 tight end for the Saints back 2 years ago. And then you got Jonnu Smith there with Delaney Walker, probably missing the entire season. And then Ricky Seals-Jones. Ricky Seals-Jones, quiet week, but hey, I'm telling you right now, he's going to be a sleeper that you can rely on all season long. Fantasy Football fam, thank you so much for tuning in to Fantasy Football AF. Please subscribe to Chat Sports on YouTube so you know exactly when I go live. I'm going to do a show on Sundays just to help you guys out. You guys can submit your questions. I get those last-minute questions in for you guys so you guys can submit your lineups and hopefully bring home a W.